thought that one of the most pettiest gangster moves at the same time is when Kendrick looked in the camera and he said, "Hey, Drake, I heard you like
that was
the way he looked in the camera. I was like, oh." Big Boy's Neighborhood, Big Boy Uncut. Kendrick Lamar calls game over on Drake.
Yikes.
Man, Kendrick Lamar calls game over on Drake, man. That halftime Super Bowl performance was, for one, I was already anticipating like a great halftime performance.
Yeah, for sure.
What I got was way more, and I won't say way more than I expected because that almost seemed like I was going low tier.
Right.
But it was way more than I expected. You know what I'm saying? like it was just one of those where I didn't have a team on the field, but I was looking at, it could be history for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of the Eagles haven't been there in a little bit. Finally, you know, Hurts is up there. You want to see the brother get it, so on and so forth. Yeah. So I had a small investment on what was going on for the game. If the Chiefs would have won, I would have slept. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I would have slept Super Bowl night. If the Eagles won, which they did, I slept.
Yeah.
But my main focus was on the halftime performance.
Same.
And when Kendrick called game over on Drake, I was like, dude, for one, I thought that the entire performance was amazing.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, and when I say amazing, I'm talking about the buildup, what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? Like he took us through, it was like a journey where you kind of you started off a little slow, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then when I heard Squabble Up, I'm like, oh, he's going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then from Squabble Up, you go back down to, Humble, the records you recognize, DNA. And I thought having Samuel L. Jackson out there as Uncle Sam, I thought it was genius. And even, and fellas, I need all that Samuel up there. I need everything that we have. I need it all. I need when Samuel was saying how people were saying it's too ghetto. I want all that, not just the mustard stuff. Because I thought that what I was witnessing, we're coming off of like Usher. We're coming off of, Weeknd, Rihanna, Dr. Dre, and Snoop. And those are high Super Bowl performances that we saw. Yep. So people were wondering, could Kendrick Lamar, could he do, hit that bar?
Right.
And I felt like he did, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't too much either, to the point where it was like, oh my God, this is overstimulating me. Like there's fireworks or anything like that. It was like, I think the perfect delivery. He came out with the car that he had on GNX on the album cover.
Yeah. It's a GNX.
Yeah. And, there's a whole bunch of people coming out of the car. And, the choreography, the outfits.
I thought everything was so well calculated.
Yeah, he made us focus on the right things.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about it. It felt like a movie. And I don't know if it's a stretch, but I think that game over is from the line that Drake said from the last diss song. That he says, I think the game's over after who's ever calling it. I think it's over. I think that might be the line of like, now it's game over.
Yeah.
Because he calls it, it's
over
over
you don't
now.
call game over. I call game over.
Yeah, who's ever.
But he addressed it, man.
The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
The revolution is about to be televised. You picked the right. What did he say? You picked the right.
About to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Man, Gil Scott Heron, the revolution would not be televised. He was like, this one, it will be televised. And was it televised to billions of people, man?
Facts.
That's what that Super Bowl is. So when you think about a battle, I've said this many a times, I've been through so many battles. I've seen the LL Cool J Kool Moe D, the Jay-Z Nas, Ice Cube, NWA, LL Cool J, Kool Moe D. There's been a lot of Pac, Biggie. There's been a lot of beefs that we've seen. But I think that this one is a different caliber and a different category. With Ice Cube and NWA, it was personal. It was this. We were in the same group together. When you saw Pac, they tried to make it, Biggie and Pac, East Coast, West Coast beef, Bad Boy, Death Row beef, you know what I'm saying? And we saw the category and how those kind of beefs ended. And this one right here, when I saw what Kendrick and Drake were doing, it was a lyrical battle. You know what I'm saying? And it started off with them kind of playing tennis with each other. It'd be one here, one there. And then at some point, man, Kendrick was like, it's almost like this thing with Bernard Hopkins, the executioner. It's this thing that Bernard Hopkins, he's a boxer. And he'll pull you. What I always describe Bernard as, he will pull you back. He'll just be like, all right, come on. And then you realize by the 6th or 7th round, you're in the middle of the ocean. And this dude is taking over you.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Deep
felt
waters.
like this. Yeah, exactly. That's what I felt with Kendrick. It was like, okay, all right, we're going to play. And then once they got into that deep water, it was like, bro, this is where I'm most comfortable at. You're coming into what I do, bro, and I don't do it for no, and I'm not talking about battle rap. He was like, dude, this is me. This is the culture.
Right.
And I felt like early on, I felt like Drake thought that he was going to Meek Mill Kendrick Lamar. And I felt like Drake fans felt the same way, that Kendrick wasn't built for this. Because even some of the early stuff, it was like, you rapping like you're trying to free the slaves, and like Kendrick's delivery was too advanced, or it was a lot that was being said. And that's why when you fast forward to this lawsuit, it's crazy because you put in a lawsuit that, your kid can't go to school, and those are effed up things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also, there are no rules to this.
No.
When you went at Meek Mill, of course, you know what I'm saying? When you went at Kendrick, you talked about Kendrick, you talked about his wife, you tried to put Top Dog in it, like you
Right.
pulled everything. So being that now I'm pulling these things in, it's a lawsuit, like stop that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep,
Like
there's
stop
no way.
it, man. And so when I'm watching this, we had this conversation. I was like, legally, will he do Not Like Us? And I'm thinking, the NFL is not going to allow it.
No,
Right.
not at all.
Drake's lawyers, or even Kendrick's lawyers, are like, man, I don't think he could do it. But we were saying, I was like, he probably go and be done with it. And we heard those kind of things where you heard the
He teased it.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he's not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And fellas, please put up all the audio from Kendrick. Please put up all the audio that we had this morning
Yeah,
from
because
Kendrick.
when you said it in the past interviews, you mentioned, you're like, I think this might be the instrumental. So
Yeah.
when that happened, I was like, oh, I think Big was
Big was
right.
right.
It's
Hey,
just going to
man.
be a
Yeah.
little tease.
And let me tell you, I'm calling up my producers and my engineers right now, and they're gonna put up stuff, right? But they're also thinking like, dude, you're doing this on YouTube. We can't play the songs, you fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, if you, they're like, I'll put it all up there.
You want it up there?
Yeah, I'll put it all up there, but don't
Take it down. It's not our fault.
But don't come back and say, hey, why did they remove everything? You know what I'm saying? So fellas, yeah, I see why it's not up there.
Yeah, but Big is being like Kendrick is like, they're trying to sue it. I don't care. Like, sue us.
Yeah, here I am sitting up here. I'm not Kendrick. Man, put it. I'll take the lawsuit. Like, hell no, I ain't playing none of that. You know what I'm saying? And they come against me. But we had Mustard in the neighborhood
man.
too. And Mustard, if you guys had a chance to check out the halftime show, Mustard, when we backtrack, we had Mustard in the neighborhood, and Mustard was talking about he didn't know that Kendrick Lamar accepted Not Like Us as a beat.
Right.
He said he heard it kind of the same time that we all heard it. He said he just happened to be working diligently, sending Kendrick like 5 beats a day, not really hearing too much. And then he said that one day he just happened to be rolling, and one of his people was like, yo, Mustard on the beat, ho. And he was like, all right, cool. That's my tag. And then he said other people started hitting him with it as well. And that's how he found out that he had one with Kendrick on it. And when you fast forward what this ride has been, you go from not knowing that you sent him, and I think when Louis, what did he say when I asked that question? I think he said he sent him like 100 beats
Yeah.
before he got a Not Like Us, and not knowing that he was going to get a Not Like Us, not knowing that he was submitting beats for Kendrick, being in the lab, putting these records together
Diss
for
track.
Drake. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, man, if I could just get Kendrick on the track,
Right.
then I'm good to go. And so when you fast forward and you start to look at Not Like Us, what that song has been, not in timeline, and no, not chronological, but seeing this song being played all over the world, Not Like Us on every platform of radio, Not Like Us #1 on streams. You turn on a basketball game, Not Like Us was on. You see people at their Christmas party, Caucasian people singing Not Like Us, karaoke. You look at any sport event, any club, wherever you went, you could not escape Not Like Us. If you didn't like Not Like Us as a song, where the fuck were you gonna go?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If you didn't like, if you didn't like Not Like Us, what were you doing as Drake? And then when you see that it got nominated for 5 Grammy Awards, You're like, man, no diss song gets a Grammy nomination, let alone win.
5.
And then you sweep.
Yep.
Oh, my
Crazy.
God, man. And you look at your peers, Taylor Swift and all these people in the audience, and they partying to Not Like Us. He gets announced for the Super Bowl. Man.
For me, it's like, I wonder how Kendrick feels, like knowing that he won. Like, it's like he won. He won everything on his own, the way he does it.
Yep.
Kendrick's way, it's like, I just feel like he can go anywhere in L.A., and he'll be looked like as a god.
Oh, yeah, man. And when we saw that, and we've been speaking about it as well, man, that was not just so much for the genre. It was a lot for the culture.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it just showed you, too. And then when you look at the Super Bowl, man, and see all the people that's up there that Kendrick brought up there with him. You know, no bombs burst, no fireworks, no craziness. You know what I'm saying? No mirrors and all that kind of stuff. But you just saw a guy up there with a mic, a tight show and production, and I thought that they did it so well, man. Then when you looked at people and you was like, man, that could be my neighbor, or oh, that's such and such, or you know, and you looked at it and it was just people that he brought up on a platform that probably would have never got that platform before.
Right.
Unless Kendrick stayed Kendrick and did what Kendrick did, and he did it extremely well. You know? And with that being said, man, shout out to Mustard. Because, man, after the game was over, Mustard hit me up. Well, I hit Mustard, and he called me right back on FaceTime. And he was still in his trailer. And you could hear, like, you know, things going on. And once we started to talk, I said, Mustard, I said, hold on, bro. I said, I don't even want to have this conversation. Let's talk tomorrow. And I just got some things that I do want to ask you about just this night. First off, congratulations, but can we talk tomorrow?
Right.
And sure enough, man, he hit us up. And when I first asked him just certain questions, because Mustard is petty. I'm not gonna even hide it.
Oh, right.
Mustard is petty as fuck.
I think he was saying himself. Yeah.
And I thought that one of the most pettiest gangster moves at the same time is when Kendrick looked in the camera and he said, "Hey, Drake, I heard you like the way he looked in the camera. I was like, oh my God, man. Did you see the look in the camera? It was perfect.
I didn't see it. I need to see it. Nah, he's bro. He's the greatest, man. He's one of the he's just one of those artists that's just like he could do everything. Like what he does is just like so like man, everything's fitting. It's like fitting for the moment.
Did you have a chance to talk with Kendrick, Sis, or anyone after the halftime performance?
I feel like I seen Kendrick. I gave him a handshake and a hug once we was leaving, but I went straight to the plane. No, I didn't. I didn't see anybody. I think we all went to planes. I don't know where Dot went, but I know we all went to planes. We're there since Tuesday. I'm like, man, I've been here too long. I'm tired of eating po' boys.
Tired of eating po' boys. Hey man, but it's crazy because when you was like, yeah, I'll get up and I'll talk with you, you know, early tomorrow. You was like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I was like, damn, like these dudes ain't even soaking this up. You know what I'm saying? But I guess you already did.
I think I was on the plane just like thinking about it. I mean, I fell asleep, but I definitely woke up this morning when you called, and I was just like, oh, that did happen yesterday.
How good must they feel? And when I was watching Kendrick, I was watching it from a technical side too. I was like, man, you know, they have to lay that like foundation over the field. I was like, man, don't trip on that.
Right.
Don't drop a mic. Don't flub a word. Like everything had to come perfect. Because if it didn't come perfect, that would have given so many people the ammunition to shoot down the entire performance. So when I watched that, man, I did ask Mustard. I said, man, what about rehearsal? How long did you have to rehearse, or how long did you have to stay closed mouth until we saw what we saw?
I think they were out there for a long time. They were rehearsing for a long time. I think I got out there like I left right after the Grammys or something like that. Amen. So I had to I was basically not answering my phone for a whole week for anybody.
Yeah. When you FaceTimed me last night, because I remember what I hit you for. I hit you for the Grammys, which you guys, you know, the Grammys getting 5, and you intentionally last night. What did you tell me, Mustard?
I was like, man, I seen you hit me, And I responded, but you told me to call you, and I was just like,
Mhm.
well, I can't call now because now I'm in New Orleans. If I call you now, you'd be like, yo, what you got? You know, we have regular conversations, so
Yeah,
you'd probably
man.
be like, what you doing? And I ain't want to lie to you, so I thought that nigga after. I'll call him after.
Hey, man, and
That's
talking with
funny.
Mustard and seeing what was done during that halftime performance, there was one part, and we all know Not Like Us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If we don't know it lyrically, every single word,
Yeah.
we all got, everybody has like a part or a build up, you know? And so
Yeah,
when it
moments.
came down to, I was already A minor. I was
Yeah.
already there.
yeah,
I
that
was
part.
already like, oh my God, because we've seen it in other places
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to the A minor,
Right.
what that feels like and what that sounds like. And we had a chance to ask Mustard about that. When he started to go into it, I was like, I looked at my wife because I wasn't invited to any Super Bowl party. So I looked at my wife
Oh my god.
and I was like, he's about to do it. And when
He's
he
doing it,
started
yeah.
playing with it, and then when he went into it,
Yeah.
we were at the house, Mustard, going crazy.
Going crazy.
And it was
Yeah.
loud, man. The one part that we were waiting for was A minor.
Yeah.
What did
Yeah.
that feel like when you were in that stadium and you heard that A minor part? And you knew it was coming.
Yeah. It felt electrifying. It felt it felt crazy, man. Everybody was just screaming it. It was just like, oh, this is crazy. It was just like, and it was just turned, man. It was just, it's perfect, man. Perfect day.
And you-
perfect halftime
You
show.
could soak that up and you felt and you heard that right then.
Yeah. You can literally just look around and you just be like, it was like a wave, like you know how they wave, and
Yeah.
it's like, hey man, like it's pretty crazy.
Hey man, was there an under track under that, or was that all the crowd?
I think that was all the crowd.
Damn, that was amazing, man.
crowd.
Hey man, I want he's
crazy.
he's had to watch it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, man. I've watched that Super Bowl performance. I've probably watched it over a dozen times.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
watched it 8
And-
times.
Yeah,
It
and
tells
if
you.
not the whole
Yeah.
thing, man, as soon as they start going into Not Like Us, I can't tell you how many times I watched that
Yeah.
over and over
With
and
this
over.
set list, do you think the 11 songs that he did it was enough? Do you think it was
Yeah.
not enough?
But you know what? When they give you that kind of time, Louis, you always want a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it felt like if they really give you 12 to 14 minutes, it felt like he really filled that up.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
were you about to say, Jesus?
I was gonna say that I thought it was perfect timing because it felt like he was telling a story, and each song related to that story.
Yeah.
When Samuel L. Jackson was saying certain lines, it's like he was setting up, and Kendrick was doing the tone of each setup that Samuel L. Jackson was
Yeah,
saying.
man.
So I love that part. So it did feel like a movie
Yeah.
in a weird way, you know.
Hey man, I thought that he would do all right,
Yeah.
but maybe it wasn't an all right moment. Like maybe that wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. But when you see Samuel L. Jackson dressed up as,
Yeah.
Uncle Sam and
Sam,
everything,
yeah.
but you're always gonna ask for more.
I think he did all right with the other Super Bowl.
Yeah. Being that he
Yeah.
got 2 of them now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But when I
Right.
saw the light pole, I thought he was gonna do all right because I remember the music video.
Yeah,
the light
yeah,
pole was there. I was like, oh,
Hey man, can you imagine being a guy that sat on the light pole? You know what I'm saying? Because then you see dudes was sitting on the light pole. I'd be like, damn. Like he had so many people up
funny.
there. I could say that I was on the light pole.
Yeah.
right?
But yeah, man, you're gonna be on the light pole. I'm like, damn, the light pole. Like how long is the performance?
Yo, my family's gonna see this.
Like, and how do I get down? You know what I'm saying? But
Big
that's
man
the
on
one
light pole.
specifically you be like, man.
Yeah.
I was on that
Yeah.
light pole, bro, so I had that
Yeah.
aerial view.
That's
Like,
right.
It's totally different. And the girls that were on stage, like, you really gonna do it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
everybody got great shine. And we were talking about like who puts in the call to Samuel L. Jackson, and when
Right.
does Samuel L. Jackson say, "Man, fuck Drake"? No, I'm just because Samuel L. Jackson, he cursed. Yeah, I'll do that, motherfucker, man. Like,
But when you do, and an artist does accept, it's like you're inheriting their beef too.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
co-signing.
You're co-signing.
Like
You're
if
saying
this
I
was
agree.
50 Cent beef, 50 Cent this morning would be like, man, F Samuel L. Jackson.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like Samuel Jackson now has entered the chat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He has now entered the beef, you know?
Even with Serena Williams
Oh man.
volunteering to go up there, I'm pretty sure.
I'm telling you, man.
Hey,
How do you
come on.
approach her and be like, hey, can you do this?
You know, Serena
On
was
Super
probably
Bowl?
like, baby, I gotta be there.
Right.
You know I gotta be there.
And
And she was up there, like, I looked, I was like, oh, damn. I was like, damn, that's Serena. That's Serena.
That's a tough one, dude.
You know, Westbrook at the house, like, man, you know, I would have popped out. I'm 7'9". I would have did my whole thing. You know, what you about to say, Jesus?
I was just gonna mention, like, so it's up for sure, like that was like his ex, right?
Oh, yeah,
Serena was
yeah.
his ex. So I know he was like talking bad about her husband. Now Drake was talking bad about her husband.
Oh, man.
So
Like
it's
a
a great way
billionaire?
for her to answer back by taking on Kendrick's side and then crip walking as well. I'm like, yo, that's so dope.
Yeah.
And she stared at that camera because she know who was
Oh,
looking.
yeah, she looked at it and she did it right, too.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
right. That's a great way for her to, like,
Hey, man,
clap
they
back.
knew them camera and them angles, too.
They did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, they knew them cameras and they knew those angles, man. Like my main one that I'm looking for right now was when he literally looked in the camera and he said, "Hey, Drake."
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Bro.
Like, and I'm going to continue to bring that up because I thought that was just so genius.
Because that smile,
Yeah,
that little
man.
grin,
Oh.
it's like, oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
I just want to say,
If looks can kill, Drake funeral will be Thursday.
Kendrick is a Gemini, and Geminis are the most creative sign out of the
What sign are you?
horoscopes. A Gemini.
Oh.
No, but I'm serious though. I'm
So
serious.
now you Kendra Lamar.
I mean, we are kind of twins, but like,
Hey, stop
I wonder what
it.
you got under your sleeve.
I
My
wonder
God.
what the A meant on his chain. Like that's what everybody's talking about. Also, like,
What?
does it the A?
What
that
did it mean?
Yeah.
I was trying to ask Mustard the same thing, man, and Mustard said he hadn't even seen that piece.
Damn.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he hadn't seen the piece
Yeah.
until. And even with Mustard being a producer, I asked Mustard, I said, man, is it the A minor as a music scale?
Yeah.
And he, is it the PG Lang? And you know how they have the tipped A,
Yeah.
small,
Right.
the lowercase a. So what I think it's one of those things y'all figure it out. Whatever it is, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it A minor? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Even the shoes, like I'm like, is he wearing LeBron James shoes? Just to throw another diss at him, like he's
We blowing up the shoes and everything over here.
Wow.
Like, dude, there's so many little things that I think we're gonna eventually somebody's gonna come up with them. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just the whole video game concept too. Like I saw the backstory or somebody sent it, right? Of like how he got somebody to make it seem like a video game and the whole thing, the game over
Right.
at the end.
Oh,
like it
man.
was done kind of thing.
So
like,
is that what the X's and all that
yeah,
stuff meant
it's
too?
kind of like a video game controller in a sense,
Oh.
right? So that's like,
Oh wow.
And that's why at the end, when he
says
played
game
like he had a
over.
remote, boom.
yep.
Hey man,
TV
there's
on.
somebody
It's
in
crazy,
the
right?
crowd that was like, yeah, I was in the crowd. I was holding up a part
Oh,
of the
yeah.
A for game over. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was doing. But what
Take that
were you
home.
about to say, Wacko?
Oh, I was gonna say that the art director who helped with that concept was the same one that did for Rihanna, which won her an Emmy, and Beyonce and Lady Gaga.
Oh my God.
damn.
Yeah. He probably told
Miami.
Kendrick, I know this.
Sit
Trust
back.
me, I got this.
I know what you wanna do.
You want to get the Canadian guy?
Yeah.
I'm your guy.
Good guy.
I'm your guy.
I know how to get a
I tried to
Canadian.
take my kids back there to say hello to him one time, and he denied us.
He denied
So,
us.
oh my God, man. It is cold, but oh, it serves so much better when it's cold. This is my revenge. What about this, Kendrick? Like, now, Kendrick, I know you had this, but this is what I was thinking.
You don't have to pay me for this.
Yeah. Hey man, speaking of
this is
pay,
free.
they get like $1,000 for that.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Because usually Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, Super Bowl performances, is free. They had a production, but even with Dre put millions of extra dollars into his production that after what they allow.
Damn.
So yeah, but just for being on TV, you get scale.
Right.
And so if he got scale plus 10 or whatever, but scale is like I think $1,000 or something like that. You know?
So what do you mean? So every time they play it back, he doesn't get some type of money off of it?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
I don't think so. Now I could be rewriting history, but I
Yeah.
know you don't get I know they don't say, "Oh man, you doing Super Bowl? Here's $5 million." And that's
Yeah.
why you use it as a promotional tool, an opportunity.
Oh,
like
right.
like Kendrick just announced his European tour.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think Rihanna took advantage with her makeup.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
sold
yeah.
out like
Fenty.
once it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, so you go do it, you play with their money, but it takes a lot to do that 12, 15,
Yep.
16 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It takes a lot, man, because even watching Dr. Dre, when Dre and Super Friends, when they did it, I would go to the rehearsals. And the way that they had the Santa Monica hangar, it was just rented out. They had the whole, what it was going to look like, the mock-up and everything, man. And it takes a while. Like when Kendrick announced, he already started practicing and rehearsing and putting his mind into it. So it's a lot. And it came out. It
did.
paid off. But even when he was walking, I was like, watch your step. Watch your
Yeah,
step.
watch
Big ass
Just
bell
said, yeah,
bottoms,
yeah.
of course.
Oh, yeah, and
Don't
he-
step on your pants, bro.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, you can wear some knickerbockers with your
Yo.
with your pants tucked into your socks. Like,
Yo, the annoying thing about the whole thing though was after the fact, I had to explain What? Well, so what happened? It's like,
man.
I gotta break down the beef. It's because they're beefing. And who did the Drakey? What's the Drake?
Man.
Forget it, dude. You're not.
Hey man,
you don't know
that's
what's going
why
on.
I didn't want to go to any parties. I wanted to sit at the house and I wanted to watch and I wanted to analyze this, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what I did.
I just, like I said, I was watching it at a bar, and some guy named Vince comes up to me. He's live streaming while I'm like, bro, I'm trying to watch the halftime show. And as soon as Not Like Us, he got my natural reaction. So now I sent him like, hey, man, thanks for capturing that.
Oh, really?
Sorry I got mad at you, dog. But thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Hey man, and then
Thanks for
after
my
Not
reaction.
Like Us, just watching the camera shot, the angle, and then when he went in to turn the TV off.
Yeah.
When he went into TV off, I was and seeing mustard out there. There you go. So, yeah, you can't say mustard
No,
anymore.
You can't, bro.
And
And it's
Game
crazy,
over.
man, because I used to when I would call mustard or I see mustard,
Yeah.
I would go mustard,
Yep.
and that's way before. You know what I'm saying? And now it's mustard, and now I can't even say mustard anymore.
Right.
Wow.
I said mustard, mustarde.
Mustarde.
Yeah.
Mustarde.
That's over.
The one person that I didn't think was going to enjoy it was Kanye. Did you guys see what he ended up
No,
talking
what
about?
did he say?
He actually liked it.
So, a few people have been asking me, like, what did you think of the Kendrick halftime show? And I really loved the show. It was my favorite.
All right, that's enough. We have enough of us. Okay, we have enough of us talking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it would have got to pass through the Kanye meter, the Kanye radar, and
I was
everything,
surprised
man.
he liked it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Kanye like it, so now we can all come out now.
Oh, thank God. We know
Yeah.
what Kanye did.
He was like, I would have tweeted it, but Elon shut me down. You know, but I asked Mustard, was he tired of Mustard? And so anytime somebody's around, they go, Big Boy! And I know that they know what's going down with me. I'm after 30-something years, I'm not tired of Big Boy. Are you tired or do you embrace Mustard?
I've learned to embrace it. It's just the weird, like the weird places where I'm just like, what the hell? You know, like I was walking through the airport and they said on the comm, and I was just like, all right, y'all, like just trying to get to the airport. Yeah, I was like, yeah. You're blowing the spot up, guys. But I embrace it, man. It's cool, man. Shit. People, I would love people to scream my name, and who would have thought?
And here we are. And you know what's crazy about Mustard? Mustard for years always called you Mustard. Now
that's actually hilarious. That's true.
Yeah,
Super
man.
true.
Now Mustard has taken over my Mustard.
Wow.
Took over the
Even
Mustard,
when I text you, because I text the Mustard, I text that. Now I don't even text that anymore. I just put Mustard. I put Heinz, man. You know, hey man. But I did ask him, what does Drake do now? What the hell does Drake do after all this? And Kendrick, y'all did it y'all way.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I actually don't think about what he could do. I have no idea. I kind of try to stay aligned with just pure shit, like just being pure and being on the right side of things and not doing no tactics and gimmicks. I've learned to not. You don't have to be super like, and I'm not speaking for or at Drake or for him. I don't know what, but a lot of shit that's going on. It's like the tactics, the things that you do just to get attention. You don't need to do that. Just make music, man, and make good music, and you'll be fine.
Love it, Mustard, man. Once again, shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Shout out to SZA, Samuel L. Jackson, Serena Williams, everybody that touched that stage, the entire production team as well. And thank you guys for hanging out with us for Big Boy Uncut. And right now, game over.